Welcome back. My name is Tom Cheney. I am a professional runner or semi-professional runner for bandit running and topo athletics. I want to talk about my injury, right? As most of you know, I am injured. And if you ask what is my injury, it's a stress fracture. I've never had a stress fracture. So this is new to me. This is my first stress fracture. I've been running for about 12 years now, and this is my first stress fracture. And you would be like, how did you get a stress fracture, Hobbs, if you've never had it before? And it's simple. Well, it's not as simple as you think, actually. But this is what I was been explained to by my PT, my doctor, everybody that you can think of, I've seen. And this is what they've been trying to explain to me and how I got the stress fracture on my ischial tuberosity. It's not a very common spot to get a stress fracture, and they pretty much said, you're doing too much, too soon, too often, right? Ischial tuberosity is back here. Your sit bone is where my stress fracture is, and I don't remember falling. I don't fall because I don't do anything besides run. I only go forward, and I don't run trails. So you can ask, I don't understand why you're injured. Well, I don't either. But what they were explaining to me was I had weak muscles that were overcompensating for other muscles. And so this is why my PT explained to me I have weak glutes, which cause my hammies to overwork, right? And hammies aren't a primary muscle. Hammies are a secondary muscle, meaning that your glute is supposed to do all the work, all the running motions. Your glute is the primary muscle, and the primary muscle was suffering because it was weak. And so my hamstring stepped in to help my glutes. And I was using so much of my glutes that put a lot of tension on the attachment of my sit bone, where your hamstring attaches to the bone. I was putting a lot more pressure than it's used to, and so it was tugging on it and eventually caused a stress fracture. That's pretty much what I've been explained to. It's some sort of hamstring issue that caused my stress fracture. That's that's just simplified for you guys. And so that's what I've been explained to. And so what am I doing? How many days it's been? It's been about, I would like to not admit it, but it's the end of December, and I'm still not running full time yet. I was hoping that 5 to 6 weeks was the timeline I was given, and that I was hoping to be running again. I'm not running again, if you can't tell. And so what am I doing? Well, I'm doing a lot of cross training. I'm not enjoying any of it, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And so I'm trying to figure out ways to enjoy it, and I can't do I can't do the cross training that I enjoy the most, and that is cycling, and because I can't sit down without pain. So I am doing elliptical, I'm doing arc trainer, I'm doing stairmaster, I'm doing uphill walking, I'm doing hiking, I'm doing everything but running and biking. And so those are all the form of cross training that I enjoy, especially alone. The 10 days I was alone in Arizona, those were the top ones, but it's also tough here because I have nobody else that's cross training really. And I started running on the Alter G yesterday. I ran 5 miles at 74% body weight, and that was probably the best I've felt in terms of running. If I have to describe the pain scale out of 10, probably a 1. It's non-existent. My thought process, my mindset going into 2026 is 100% pain-free, right? I've been in pain for so long that I don't even know what pain-free feels like.
But lately I've been wearing a lot of half tights because I've been having a lot of hip flexor pain. We can talk more about it later in a different video and stuff like that. But yeah, in the last 3-4 months, I had to take some time off because my hip flexor is just really aggravated. And so the liner and the running short shorts right there really aggravates my hip flexors. And so it makes running very painful and opening up my stride really painful. And so yeah, I'm not wearing that's probably the main reason that I'm not gonna wear these shorts.
For the longest time, it feels like I've been having a lot of hip flexor pain, which probably causes a little overcompensation of weak glutes, which cause hammies, which cause stress fracture. And so all these tie together. If you go back throughout my last few videos, you can clearly tell I'm injured. I was just trying to be optimistic. And sometimes optimism can be your downfall, right? I tried pushing for CIM as long as I could, and 3 weeks before, I had to shut it down. my pain in my hip flexor and my pain in my glutes was getting through the roof. I forgot to explain. I've also been having hip flexor pain, which I think we kind of maybe solved. I'm not sure yet. I got an injection in my hip flexor, which reduced the pain a lot. You can, past Hobbs, explain this. 5 days ago, I went to go see Dr. Jackson because, again, how we got here is because I've been having hip flexor pain since probably 7-8 months ago. I've been having hip flexor pain. And so I went to go see Dr. Jackson and we got an MRI in my hip flexor, and sadly, there's nothing wrong with it. And this is how we found my stress fracture in my ischial tuberosity. And so now it's been months later and we got an injection 5 days ago to target my hip flexor. Now we were trying to figure out whether to target the hip flexor or whether to target the hip socket and joint. So we're trying to figure out where exactly is the pain coming from.
Oh, that is bright. I am headed pretty much across town because this is the only available physical therapist shift our doctor had. Again, I am more than fortunate and blessed to have a PT, a doctor that I can have on speed dial, which is great because I made this appointment Friday. But yeah, it's Monday morning. My appointment is at 9:30. And so, yeah, it's to do an evaluation on my hip flexor that I've been having pain on. We're trying to kill two birds with one stone, right? And so I know that I have a stress fracture in my ischial tuberosity. I ran 3 miles this morning to test out to see where I'm at. Ischial tuberosity still hurts a little bit, but the main focus is hip flexor hurts more than the ischial tuberosity, right? When we got the MRI last, they said that the ischial tuberosity stress fracture is healing. It's not fully healed, but it's healing. And so I probably won't do another run for another 10 days to just let it rest a little more. But in that meantime, we're going to try to figure out what exactly is wrong with my hip flexor, right? Today, he's doing some evaluations to determine what's going on. And then he's going to take a closer look on my MRI that I got last week. Because, I probably didn't need to be in, but he wants me to come in so he can do one-on-one evaluation from his eyes, because what his eyes can see on an MRI and what he can feel in my hips are going to be two different things. And so yeah, he's doing that as well as a possible cortisone injection. I've heard that gives people relief. I'm hoping that I get that kind of relief just because I've been in pain since probably June, right? I've been having hip flexor pain since Grandma's Marathon. I ran Grandma's Marathon with the hip flexor issue, and I wore half ties because I was having the hip flexor issue. And so that's like, the ultimate goal is to finally to get to a position where I can finally wear short shorts. Like, I haven't been wearing short shorts because my hip's in so much pain all the time. Like, and then when I put on short shorts, the pain like multiplies to like times 100, right? And so the goal here is be pain-free. Like, I would love to be pain-free. I haven't been pain-free in so long that I don't even know what pain-free feels like, right? I mean, I know what pain-free feels like because I have another hip, but yeah, the ultimate goal is trying to get as healthy as possible, just because for the goals that I want to achieve, that I need to be at 100% health, right? I don't like being at 90% health doesn't really help at all, right? It's just going to hinder my training a little bit. I'm going to have to make compromises here and there, and I don't want to make compromises. My next marathon build, I want to run a marathon, and like, I'm trying to put one on my calendar. But I don't want to put one on the calendar just because the moment you put something on your calendar, then you're pressured to get in shape. You're pressured to do all this stuff. And so the goal here is I don't want to pressure myself into getting in shape. And so, yeah, I just want to get in shape and then put a race on the calendar. But the problem with that is I'm not at the level where I can demand things, right? If you're, I don't want to say names, right? Connor, Clayton, yada, yada. They're at a level where if they want to get into a marathon, literally the week of, they can. I don't have that kind of luxury just because I'm not that fast, right? I don't have, with the faster marathon you run, the more power you have in this world, the more pull you have with agents and meet directors. And so I don't have that, right? And so I gotta think a little more logistically, right? And so, yeah, like, I don't want to put a race. I originally put a race on my calendar of March 28th. I wanted to run the Stanford 10K. That's not looking like it's gonna happen. I know it's so far away. It's almost 4 months away. But I'm not gonna be in the fitness that I want to be in to be able to run that. And so, yeah, that's probably not happening. But I want to do a lot of summer racing and probably a fall marathon, ideally, hopefully, possibly. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. I just got the shot, so I mean, I can't really say too much. But my hip already feels like $1 million. Dude. This is the first time I've been pain-free in months. I don't know how long it's gonna last.
So I actually didn't get a cortisone injection just because he warned me the dangers of a cortisone injection. Weakens your tendons and your hip muscles, and so that will cause future complications. And so we went with a safer bet, and which is just getting an injection, some anti-inflammatory. He thinks it's just really aggravated hip flexor. And so yeah, I trusted that, and I think he's like, you should be in pain-free now until for a long time, or hopefully this lasts forever. But if not, then we can come back and do a cortisone injection.
And holy cow, I haven't felt this much of pain relief in, to be honest with you, I don't even know when. If you follow me on YouTube, you know that I've been complaining about having hip flexor issues and not being able to wear short shorts for the longest amount of time. And I did wear short shorts on Thursday. I got the injection Wednesday, and I wore short shorts Thursday too soon. I was still having a little bit of pain, but it was a little different style of pain than I normally was having. I was having discomfort. It wasn't pain, it was more of a discomfort. I haven't worn a pair of short shorts in almost an entire year. It might even be a year. If you go back in my history of my YouTube video, there's gonna be some sort of mention about hip flexor pain, hip flexor issues. And I always keep wearing half tights because the only thing that doesn't aggravate it is half tights. And so, yeah, I'm happy to finally walk around on my daily basis and not have hip pain, right? I still have a little bit of discomfort, but I think we can solve that with physical therapy. And so, yeah, I wanted to make this video because I wanted to talk about the kind of pain I was having, as well as what solved it and what kind of injection I had. I don't want to go too far into it. It's a legal injection. There's nothing illegal about it, and it's just anti-inflammatories, right? It's just, I mean, you do need a professional to do it because you do need a professional to go in with the needle. The needle is massive. I don't know what the size of the needle is because I closed my eyes when Dr. Jackson was doing the job. And so, yeah, it feels nice to finally not be in pain. I've been in pain for months and months, and it feels good to not be in pain. When I'm gonna resume running again. And to be honest with you guys, I don't know. It's been 7 weeks. I ran 12 miles last week, and I can't say that it felt comfortable to run. And I was still having pain scale out of 10, probably like a 2 or 3. It wasn't excruciating pain. The pain level is way less than when I first initially got diagnosed with a stress fracture in my ischial tuberosity, but it still hurts. And so I talked to my PT, and we probably decided that I probably shouldn't have gone straight to ground running. I should have been on the AlterG or the Boost and ease at like 70% body weight and introducing my muscles to running again. I've been doing a lot of uphill walking, so I thought that I was ready because I wasn't really having pain with uphill walking. Uphill walking is just another way of just to get your heart rate up and to teach your body to still the ground contact time. And so I thought I was ready, but I was not. I think one of my new 2026 resolution is post. I think I don't want to say quantity over quality, but that's kind of what I'm saying. I think it's putting out more videos that people enjoy. I think is more important. I think old Hobbs, 2024 Hobbs, he's putting out a video like, I think once every 2 weeks, one every 3 weeks, and I personally go back and watch them. They're like 8 to 10 minutes long. I enjoyed them. Like yesterday I was watching my 2024 Olympic Trials build, and it literally was just me with a GoPro. It was probably one of the best content I ever posted, to be honest. But yeah.